When the plane touched down at LAX, I could barely breathe. Not because of jet lag, but because my heart was pounding. I had exactly $50 in my pocket. That was everything I owned. I didn't know where I would sleep that night. I didn't know what I'd eat tomorrow. I only knew one thing. If I didn't fight for myself, no one else would. Part 1. First steps and what have I done? I found a cheap room through a friend of a friend. I shared it with 4 strangers, all of us starting from scratch. That first night, I couldn't sleep. Not because the bed was uncomfortable, but because I was scared. I stared at the ceiling and kept asking, what have I done? Did I really think $50 could build a new life? But then I thought of my parents. They had scraped together every cent they had just to buy me a plane ticket. And I told myself, if you quit now, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. So I made a decision. No turning back. Part 2. The nameless jobs. I started looking for work. Anything. Dishwashing, floor cleaning, babysitting, yard work, heavy lifting. But there was one big wall in my way. English. I studied English for 6 years in school. But when Americans spoke, I understood nothing except hello. One person said to me, sorry, you don't speak English well enough. Come back later. I nodded and said, thank you, even though I didn't fully understand what they said. Finally, I got a job washing dishes in a small restaurant in a Latino neighborhood. $3 an hour. From 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., I said yes on the spot. Lesson 1. You don't need to know the way. You just need to keep moving. I used to think you needed a big plan, clear goals, a step-by-step path. But now I understand. Sometimes the most important thing is, don't stop. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just move forward, even a little, every single day. The road will reveal itself. Part 3. English and the laughter that burns. I remember once a customer asked, "Can I have a fork?" I misheard and brought them a spoon. They laughed, not in a mean way, but I felt like sinking into the floor. That night, I cried. Then I went online, typed how to pronounce fork, and listened to the video over and over 100 times. From then on, I started learning new vocabulary every day, writing a diary in English, joining free community night classes for immigrants. Lesson 2, learn faster than your fears. I was scared of being judged, scared of being rejected, scared of being laughed at. But I learned not to let fear stop me. I accepted the laughter, as long as I learned something after every mistake. I learned fast, not because I was smart, but because I was afraid I'd fall behind if I didn't. Part 4. Saving, scraping, sacrificing. After over a year, I finally saved $1,200. I ate sandwiches every day, no shopping, no parties. Every dollar I saved was one step closer to freedom. I began learning about money, how to open a bank account, how to file taxes, how to build credit. I delivered food at night, drove Uber on weekends. Some days I worked 16 hours. I was exhausted, but never hopeless. Part 1. The times I almost gave up. I won't lie to you. There were moments I wanted to quit, not just once. Many, many times. There was a week I worked non-stop, exhausted. At the end, the restaurant owner said, "We didn't make much this month. I can only pay you half." I said nothing. I just nodded. I couldn't speak. My throat tightened. But I held back the tears. I couldn't let them see me cry. I walked home in silence. That night, I ate plain bread. Not because I was dieting, but because I had no money left. I seriously thought about quitting. I asked myself, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should go home, apologize to my parents, accept my fate. Then I remembered my mother's face at the airport. She didn't cry, but her eyes were red. She only said one thing: don't come home unless you've lived your dream. Part 2. My definition of success has changed. When I first came to America, I thought success meant owning a big house, wearing designer clothes, working in a fancy office. But now I know. Success for me is every time I don't give up. Not giving up after 10 job rejections in 1 week. Not giving up when people laughed at my broken English. Not giving up when I had to deliver food all night to pay rent. Success isn't a destination. It's a journey. And every step you take is a victory. Part 3. Small wins build great strength. I used to be so hard on myself. I looked in the mirror and saw failure. But I learned to shift my mindset. I started writing down small wins every day. Today, I said one full sentence in English without mistakes. Today, I earned $15 extra by delivering on time. Today, I didn't think negatively even when someone yelled at me. I realized you can't build a skyscraper in one night, but every brick you lay matters. Part 4. I met people who never quit. I met a Vietnamese man who fixes cars for a living. He's been in the US for 20+ years, no college, still struggles with English, but he owns a small garage and put all 3 kids through college. I asked him, "How did you never give up?" He smiled. "Giving up is easy, son. But after that, who's going to live your life for you?" I also met a Mexican woman who sells tacos from a cart. She wakes up at 4 a.m. every day and works under the sun. She's not rich, but she raised her daughter alone, who's now in nursing school. These people aren't famous, but they're quiet heroes. And they all have one thing in common: they didn't quit. Part 5. Today is hard, but tomorrow might be easier. Some days feel unbearably dark. You'll feel like everything is against you. Not enough money, no opportunities. People don't care. But I learned this. Life won't always get easier, but you can get stronger. And sometimes, all you need is one good night's sleep, and tomorrow will look different. My greatest lesson is, you don't need to win today. Just don't quit. Because tomorrow, you might be the last one left running. Part 6. Your story is someone else's strength. I used to think, who cares about my story? It's nothing special. But one day, I shared my journey in a small cafe. An 18-year-old African boy sat and listened and cried. He said, "You don't know, sir. I only have $60 left. But after hearing you, I know I'm not alone." And that's when I realized, your persistence doesn't just save you. It can ignite hope in someone else standing on the edge of giving up. Part 7. To you. If you're thinking of quitting, if today you're breaking down, if you're eating ramen and wondering, did I make a mistake? Please remember this. You've come further than you think, and you are stronger than you know. This journey isn't made for the perfect. It's made for the ones who don't give up. Success may not come fast, but it will come. To the one who keeps moving forward. Part 5. A little coffee cart and a tiny dream. 3 years later, I had $7,800 saved. I saw an old coffee cart for sale on Facebook. The owner, a Korean guy, was returning home. I bought it, painted it, fixed it up, made my own sign. I called it Second Chance. Every cup I brewed, I imagined my mother's face. She always believed in me, even when I had nothing to prove her right. Lesson 3. Success is a journey you refuse to quit. I didn't become successful overnight. There's no magic formula. I only had one thing. I didn't quit, and that was enough for everything to change. Final part. If you're starting with $50 too, Today, I have a steady income, loyal customers, new friends. I help newcomers like I once was. I translate, help them find housing, recommend jobs. And when someone asks me, "What's your secret to success?" I just smile and say, "There's no secret, just patience and persistence." If you're starting with $50, if you're in a tiny room in a strange land, please remember, you're not alone. You're stronger than you think, and you will make it. Just don't stop walking. Call to action, end. If you saw yourself in this story, drop a comment below. And if you need someone to walk this road with you, hit that subscribe button. We'll keep going together.